I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? What up, welcome back to the Chief Seats. Well, culture meets conversation. Matter of fact, what we say the other day? We say we was going to switch it up, right?
Culture, conversation, entertainment. Yeah, culture, conversation, entertainment, something else, man. You know,
that's what's up, man.
Throwing stuff
you know what it is. You already know what it is, man. Listen, thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all share the show. Tell as many people as you can. Spread the word. Let them know what we doing. Rap, what's good?
Man, everything good, man. We in here, man. We doing the thing.
Everything good. Everything ain't good for your boy Dwight Howard, though.
Whoa.
Nah, hey, we ain't even supposed to get into that, but I can't. I gotta bring it up, bro. I gotta bring it up.
Hey, man. Hey, well, you know what? I was looking at that. This is the first thing popped in my mind when that came out. Now we know why he went on the 50 greatest or the 75 greatest.
Come on,
now
man,
we know why he job offers.
All right, separate the two. Can you do that? Is that something you can?
I can, but it's just like, you know, when a brother make him like put like this. What's his name? Not me. What's the dude who played Iron Man? I can't think his name right now.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. played this role in the late '80s, in the mid '80s, in the movie called Less Than Zero, and he was a dude who was he had a drug addiction. He ended up going up in other directions, homosexually, and a whole lot of stuff. And then he actually ended up living out that dude Julian. The dude was Julian, and he was DUIing and going to jail and possession and all this. And then lo and behold, he is Iron Man, and he had a ton of roles since then, and he the man.
Todd Bridges. What dude Julian?
Julian is the role in Less Than Zero, the drug addict, crackhead, alcoholic. He turned into Julian in real life. And now don't nobody talk about Robert Downey Jr. and all this drug addiction and all this nonsense that he dealt with. Todd Bridges, on the other hand, he the only one, quote unquote, who beat the Different Strokes curse. And he had like a 4-year lick where he had lost his mind. But you don't hear, if it weren't for Chris Rock, when was the last time you'd have heard Todd Bridges?
Yeah, so when you're right. But I mean, like I'm one of the people, you know, and listen, if you a fan, you a fan. I ain't even knocking, you ain't tripping. It ain't too many celebrities that I can't separate what they do to entertain us versus what going on in their personal life and the scandals they get into. R. Kelly is one of them. I can't separate the two. You know what I'm saying? Every time I hear R. Kelly song, I'm gonna think about him pissing on some little girl. I mean, let's be real about it. I mean, I can't do that, bro. I can't do it. You laughing, but I'm dead serious. I can't do it.
I'm laughing because somebody else.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, listen. You talking about dude not being top 75, right? Mm-hmm. So on the court, you know, you think about everything he did throughout his career. But now, anytime you say Dwight Howard name, the first thing you're going to think about is Kitty, right?
Yeah.
The chick or the dude or whatever it was that, you know, showed up at the door or whatnot. I don't know. I think it's crazy, bro. But like, I think Chief said that he been like that for a minute. At least I've been hearing stuff about him.
We've heard it. Like years ago, he was with the Wizards. He had that back injury. It was like he had a torn rectum or something, and that's what it really wasn't a back injury. So, I mean, you've been hearing about. I don't care what you do, hey man. As long as you ain't hurting no old people, hurting no women, and hurting no kids, do what you want to do, man.
Yeah, it is.
Do what you want to do. If everything you're doing is sensual, hey, I don't care about what you do. If you can still get 12, 15 rebounds, send them up to the Bulls. I ain't never bought no jersey, but I wear Dwight Howard. I buy a Bulls t-shirt and say "Go Dwight," but I ain't into jersey. But
yeah, say no more. Say no more. We can leave that one alone. Then it is what it is. All right, we talking about. I'll let you introduce that topic, man.
Yeah, well, tonight, well, I'm gonna introduce all three, and then we'll get to them as we get to them. Tonight we're gonna talk about Sexxy Red and the comments that she said and the vitriol that followed it, and how should we handle that. The second topic we're gonna talk about is I've heard at least two, well, three. Barkley, the latest is Waka Flocka Flame, and Earthquake. They've both had the comments about supporting people who don't have the community's interest. It serves them well, but it doesn't serve the overall community well. And how should we handle that? And the third one is we're going to talk about, we're not going to get into this Gaza thing because neither one of us got a dog in that fight. But while everybody's up in arms and everybody going, who, what, oh my God. And it is a oh my God situation. Children, as I just stated, children are getting hurt. Children are dying. So there is a situation to whereas the human aspect has been affected. But what I want people to understand is while we watching this, we need to be previewing it for us. Because if you watch this documentary, HBO documentary, 40 Years a Prisoner, it shows you how some of that stuff that they're doing to them people in Gaza happened right here in the United States of America, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So as we go through the show, we'll cover all three of those. And we would really appreciate the people who are in the chat room to engage because, as I say on Build and Destroy all the time, it's not a dissertation. It's a conversation. And now it's just more than me having a conversation. It's less of a dissertation. It's a conversation between us and you. So comment as much as you like. Make sure you be a part of it. And as most say, hit that thumbs up, hit that like button. Tell a friend to tune in.
It is, man. All right. Well, let's get into it. Sexxy Red, man. Let's see what she said first, though.
Okay.
More people are going to support Trump now in the hood
like
or
Trump.
no?
Yeah, they support him in the hood. Because at first, I don't think people was fucking with him like they thought he was racist, saying little shit and, against women. But once he started getting black people out of jail and giving people their free money, oh, baby, we love Trump. We need him back in office.
Strong words, bro. She said, we love Trump. We need him back in office.
In the hood. That's what the people, according to her, that's what the people in the hood saying. And man, they tore up on Instagram. They tore up on Twitter. They tore up on TikTok and any other social media. I'm sure I don't really deal with Facebook too much. I'm sure they tore up on Facebook. It's been the topic of a thousand conversations, And I just want to know, first and foremost, let's not act as if everybody, it's a million and one. Look, let's not act like everybody in the hood is civically minded. Understand where this young lady comes from. She comes from St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis is a predominantly black city. It's underfunded in the black portions, just like in Chicago, just like in South Carolina, just like in Atlanta, LA, DC, and all these other places. So she's not civically minded. She's not well informed. And let's not act like people in the hood are not saying this. And they destroy. I heard people attack her mental health. And get this. This one young lady called to check her mental health. Sexxy Red's mental health. And she has a line of lip gloss, women's lip glosses. One of them is called Booty Hole Brown. One of them is called Inner Coochie Pink. And you want to check her
Inner Coochie Pink.
Inner Coochie Pink.
You talking about the woman that called to check on her mental health.
Yeah,
she got these lines.
Yeah, we need to check her mental health. She clearly nuts, but you selling Booty Hole Brown lip gloss and Inner Coochie Pink lip gloss. And you think that's normal?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, if you're going, in order to really get to the bottom of just breaking down what she had to say about Trump and how people responded to it, you got to start asking how do we as a whole feel about Trump? You know what I'm saying? To justify them comments being, true or false or valid or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, think about some of the stuff. think about the reason why this country is divided the way that it is now, from a racial perspective. Trump. We're talking about a guy who was endorsed by David Duke. People like that. You know what I'm saying? Who pretty much was the driving force behind what happened at the Capitol, stuff like that. I mean, come on, we know what he said. We know what he did. So I get it. We upset about what the man said. But do we consider age or whatever? I don't know how old she is. You know
22.
what I'm saying?
She's 22 years old.
So she's still a kid. She's still a kid. And she in the entertainment business. And I done heard a lot of celebrities come out and talk about how they benefited from Trump being in office financially. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, how we supposed to look at it, bro?
The way I look at it is like this, man. We are looking at a situation. We're looking at a situation to whereas when we, like you said, let's start from the bottom, work our way up. She's 22 years old. So that means Trump was in office when she was a teenager. And I'm assuming that she comes from a middle class or lower middle class community. I'm looking at her style, I'm looking at her swag, and she's talking about the hood. So you come from a middle or lower middle class community. Now, let's take it back 12 years when our homeboy Barack Obama was in office. It's a bunch of young black kids that only know, at one point, they only knew of a black president. So a black dude in office is normal to them. That makes sense to them. So with her, she comes from the hood. More than likely, her parents are not doing as well as they should, as we would like them to be doing. Your mama's struggling. Potentially, she comes from a single parent home. Your mama's struggling. And guess what? When my mama's struggling and this disease is attacking the world, this dude sent us $3,200. I'm stuck in the house. My mama's struggling. These lights about to get cut off. This food short. And according to in her child mentality, the president sent us some money. So really what she's saying is, to me, the hood like Donald Trump, because when we were at our health worst, our financial worst, he sent us some money. Now, do we get mad at her or do we get mad at each other? Because instead of people saying stuff like, I'm sick, I ain't got no time for this politics. The news is depressing. I don't want to know about that. It's too much. And then you get statements like this and you want to call for her mental health to be checked. You want to call for her, call her stupid. Now, ignorant in the clinical sense, yeah, she is uninformed. But how did her mentality get formed? Me and you talked, what was that, about a week ago? We was talking about everybody always calling these young people her age crazy. Who raised these kids?
Exactly. And that's where I was going to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, and I think that's it. I think we got to take some responsibility for what we're seeing out here right now. And I mean, that go for Sexxy Red, any other artists out here, these kids out here in the street. We got to take accountability for the role that we played in making sure that they are informed, making sure they thinking clearly, making sure they carrying themselves the way that maybe we feel like they should or whatever. I mean, yeah, let them be individuals. They got the ability to think freely, and that's her opinion. But her opinion is based on what? You know what I'm saying? All she knows is all she know. You know what I'm saying? And I try to be careful when I talk about stuff like this, like with the what's the girl name? Sha'Carri Richardson situation, right?
Perfect example.
We celebrated her and still celebrate her to this day for what she's done, an Olympian, you know what I'm saying? A medalist, doing what she do, right? But people had a problem with her appearance, right? I wasn't crazy about the long nails, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not finna dive on social media and just start taking shots at the girl. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like the fact that she may have, hurt herself in the Olympics with the marijuana situation, but I'm not condemning her. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna, be judgmental. But what I'm saying is we'll criticize these kids. We'll go out here and we'll just throw them to the wind based on the mistakes that they make without taking into account that, dang, what what role did I play in this? You know what I'm saying? We the OGs, right? You know what I'm saying? We the OGs. We ain't always listen to the people that tried to school us. You know what I'm saying?
At all.
But, you know, a lot of us took a lot of what we needed to take from them. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they ain't always right, just like we ain't always right.
Exactly.
So, you know, we applied what we needed to apply and kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? And I think we need to extend that same courtesy to these youngins.
Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. Look, this is something I don't like. Sister Shikari, right? Another 19, 20-year-old person. First of all, I've been saying this for at least 20 years. Well, maybe not 20 years, but at least 50. Yeah, 20 years. Since the turn of the century. So I was about 30. I was never dumber in my life than I was between 14 and 24. I had a PhD in doing it wrong. And I probably would have stayed dumb if she wouldn't have said, I'm pregnant. If I wouldn't have heard, I'm pregnant, I don't know how dumb I would have been. But I'm pregnant wakes you up. So it's just a situation to where
a whole lot of us up.
Yeah. And scared me to no end. And then I snapped out of it. So I'm not going to judge some 22-year-old person for doing what 22-year-old people do. Young people got a PhD in doing the wrong thing. And that's where we step in at. I'm tired of these elders. Oh, look at these kids. Well, these your grandchildren. And these are your children. So whose fault is it? Man, I'm sick of it. How you want this young lady to make us, you're going to look at her through the eyes of a 50-year-old person, a 40-year-old person, and you were doing stuff when you were that age that was equally stupid. Why is it that you brought up Shikari? That's how I lost track. We were celebrating her. She was the hottest thing in the world. She smoked the weed, which was dumb. I'm not finna, oh man, her mama, that was just dumb. But she a 20-year-old, she a 19-year-old person. You got the right to do some dumb stuff. But why ain't we big up in her like we was kicking in her face after she smoked the weed? We destroyed that young lady. And now that she back, we don't cheer for her no more. Because we sit off in the cut and go, yeah, it's only a matter of time before she make another stupid mistake. Instead of reaching out, yo, young sister, boom, here it is. We got your back next time. Her friends, her family. I'm telling you, man, I am one of the most blessed human beings in the history of the world. I for whatever reason, for like a 10-week period, my senior year in high school, I lost my entire mind. Shout out to the oldest person I could say is my friend, James Barnes. We call him Buck. Buck, I was in the hallway. I think I was finna beat up somebody, man. I was about to start a fight. Buck grabbed me in my collar, slammed me into a locker. Buck smaller than me too. He said, hey man, what you doing? You about to ruin your life. I don't know why that worked. I snapped out of it and I was cool. Where the Bucks at? Where the Jimmy Fields at? Where the Fred Thomas at? Where my cousin Vince's? The Mikes? You know, cause I could remember I was saying something and Mike, he just let me finish talking. He let me finish the whole little diatribe I was on. And he said, cuz, you know what? You sound like a damn fool. Where are those people at?
Yeah. We talked the other day about the black community and how, you know, we'll do whatever to defend them, even if it mean, you know what I'm saying, just knocking down any other demographic. But when it's time to really criticize our own, we struggle to do that. That's part of that coaching though, bro. That's part of that. Let me pull you to a side, young brother, young sister. Let me educate you. Let me school you. Let me give you what I know. You know what I'm saying? All I can do, I got 2 sons. My oldest son just turned 24 today. Happy birthday, baby boy. My youngest will be 22 in December, right? All I can get him is what I got. All I can teach him is what I know. But that may be enough. You know what I'm saying? That may be enough to at least get him in the right direction. But, you know, as a community, you know, I want to see us get back to doing that. And I think, I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know, but we don't see it. I used to run a recording studio some years ago, and I had a lot of youngsters that would come by and they would work with me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, while they could be out there doing whatever. But they sitting in there in the studio, they making music. And I mean, they might talk about whatever they talk about, but at least I got them right here. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me trying to put myself up here like, yeah, I'm doing my part. No, I'm not saying that because, you know, I mean, it was a lot of reasons I did that. You know what I'm saying? But the main reason was, man, I love seeing this as opposed to what we could be seeing.
Somebody getting shot.
You know what I'm saying? That same little youngin might try to rob me out there in the parking lot when I leave. You know what I'm saying?
Or like I say, this young boy life, he used to be on my block he used to sell a little weed or whatever. This when I lived on the street called Maypole. And he was in the gang, you know, I ain't gonna call it a gang, he's in the street organization. And I never get, you know, what's up, young blood? You know, that's it. One day, you know, he always gave me mad respect. Somebody sitting on my car, hey, man, that's old school car, get off his car. The whole nine, right? One day I saw these dudes about to get him. I jumped out the car because I knew the guys. I said, hey, this is my little guy. Got him in the car, drove him home. I drove him down the block so he can get away safe.
Yeah.
He got to the crib. The little gang in my neighborhood, little street dudes in the neighborhood tried to recruit BJ.
Yeah.
Homeboy, hey. Now, he didn't know my cousin was well connected over there. My cousin just happened to bend the block.
Yeah.
But that's how it goes, man. You save somebody, they save you, and it's a better situation. Otherwise, all this finger wagging, like one of my homeboys, I'm from the, you know, I ushered in the whole hip hop movement. I took those arrows, you know, in Chicago, because Chicago was a very preppy town at the time. House music was God. It's still fighting with hip hop. And dressing like I dress, jeans, sweatshirts, sweatpants, tracksuits. That was the equivalent of pants off your behind today.
Yeah.
And guess what, man? We were looked at as the scourge of humanity. And one of my homeboys was like, man, I don't understand these young dudes. I say, dude, we were doing it. Also, our butts was out. I say, they might be doing it a little more than us. I say, dude, I used to break dance. You had to have baggy pants for the effect. So knock it out. Knock it off.
I can't see it, Rap.
Oh, no, I'm going to send you a picture of what size I was.
Let me find out you out there in Chicago with the cardboard on the ground, back spinning.
Ooh, what? I had a cold penny. Why? But yeah, man, but I remember it. And that's why it's easy for me. That's why it was easier for me to talk to my children as well. You don't know how many times I told BJ, don't be me. Don't be me, man. Because especially once, man, it touched my heart. And that's when I really started telling him. He's like, man, Pop, we sit in the living room, because on Friday nights was our thing. Friday night, we watched TV together. And he just jumped out the window and said, man, Pop, I'm sorry. He said, man, Pop, you know what? You my hero. And it felt great for him to say that. But I also said, hey, BJ, I'm your hero. He said, nah, man, I'm serious. I said, well, good. You need to be better than Superman. And then I started telling him all the mistakes I made in life.
Yeah.
And I started telling him all his positive attributes. And it drew us together closer. But it was just one of those things, man. It was just, we don't do that. That's one of the things, man, the North Side, like my family, man, the Williams part of my family, Williams leggings. We don't have no problem in your face. And my homeboys on the North Side, B, you overreacting. Because I had the Napoleon complex. I'm genetically predisposed to be a hothead. Both my parents are hotheads. Both my grandmothers are hothead. I couldn't beat it if I tried. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I had good brothers around me. Like, really? And then you end up feeling stupid, and your feelings gonna be hurt. Nah, no, ain't no time for your feelings to be hurt. We're trying to keep you alive, man.
Right. Yeah, that's game I had to get him on young too. I had to give him, just tell him the truth early. Like, let me let you know who I am. You know, I know what you see, but let me let you know. And at that point, all you can do is just hope that thing play out the way it need to play out. You know what I'm saying? But sometime it will, sometime it won't, man. I don't know nothing about this. I ain't never really listened. I ain't even know that that's the song that she did till you said something earlier before the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know nothing. All I know about her is that song and what I seen in that clip, that interview. And nah, I ain't like what she said. You know what I'm saying? But I think just trying to break that thing down and understand where she could have been coming from. That's the most important piece right there.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I don't know the young. Well, clearly, I'm gonna stop saying stuff like that. I don't know because it's clear I don't know the girl.
Yeah.
But I don't know her, so I'm only gonna make a theory. But hey, man, it's just like we shouldn't like the movie The Mac, but we do. We shouldn't like the movie Superfly, but we do.
Yeah.
So
two of my favorites.
Yeah, right. If you live in the hood, I might be the only black dude in America, our age, that don't like the Mac and don't like Scarface.
Come on, man. I heard you say that about Scarface before, but come on, how you not like the Mac?
Hey.
How you not like the Mac? I get you. I get the point you're trying to make. It ain't promoting a whole lot of positivity, but
no. I just thought it was a boring movie. I didn't like the Mac as a kid. When I was digging Superfly, I like Superfly.
Yeah, I like Superfly too. But come on, the Mac, man, that Mac got some of the most iconic lines in it, bro. Some of the most Richard Pryor.
I'm a weirdo. I have no problem saying I'm a weirdo. I'm a weirdo, man.
I said I was gonna watch my cousin, man, so I ain't gonna recite a whole lot of them lines, man. But the Mac is the Mac is the Mac.
Hey, now, Keisha, Dalt, Ben, and Wilkes, they be on my head about soundtracks. Now that Mac soundtrack, boy,
classic.
Willie Hutch, boy,
yeah, Willie Hutch, man. All of them back in the day, them soundtracks was crazy. I ain't trying to get sidetracked, but them.
Oh, yeah. But
the Mac, bro, come on, man.
But see, I ain't even on the H-Rap pro-black kick. I just didn't like those movies. Now, Scarface is the longest, boringest movie in the history of the earth to me. I might, you know what? Maybe I need to go back. Like you checked me last week on the James Brown. I went back. I did enjoy it. So let's set the record straight. I watched it after the movie, after the episode, and I went back and watched it, and I did enjoy it. I think what it was, I watched that James Brown documentary, and it blew me. And watching the movie, how much they leave out, I'm like. So I did watch it, and I did enjoy it. So rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, and that was a good movie. But but I could watch Scarface. I've watched Scarface at least 4 times, and I'm like, man, this is horrible. This is morning breath. This is doo-doo.
Scarface, I think Scarface is one of those movies. It got them scenes in it, those iconic scenes.
This is true.
The movie as a whole, I get it. I get it. But again, I'm one of the, it's a lot of movies that I watched that I'm like, I can't get into. I ain't care for brown sugar. A lot of people love brown sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get me started.
I ain't been into. That's a whole nother episode right there.
Convincing me Tay Diggs is a hip hopper, you got a better chance of convincing me to like the dudes.
Hey, that's about like selling me on Makai Pfeiffer with them dreads and 8 Mile. That ain't happening, bro.
Boy.
That ain't happening. Couldn't stand that movie, man. But all right, let me ask you a different question. Going back to the whole Sexxy Red situation, I'm gonna ask you a stupid question, and I know you're gonna have a real quick answer on it. But I know you're gonna take it somewhere that I kind of want to go. Have we seen her before? Have we seen a Sexxy Red in this game before?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bodak Yellow.
Why we got a problem today?
Exactly. Bodak Yellow or Bodak Brown or whatever the little girl. She married one of the amigos.
Cardi B. He said Bodak Brown. Cardi B.
Yeah.
We saw it before then, bro. I think so. I think we seen it way before then.
Yeah, look him.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you go all the way back to the Millie Jackson days.
I'm just gonna say that. I mean, I ain't got no problem. See, because I'm so married to hip hop, I have no problem with what she's doing. But don't give Luther Campbell no hard time and say this is adult music and then let my children listen to this. I'll never forget the day, man. You know, when BJ was learning how to drive, I was loving it because he wants to drive. We used to kick it all the time. He wants to drive all the time. I'm like, I almost set in the back.
Yeah.
So we had this rule: if I'm driving, we listen to what I want to listen to. He put WGCI is the big station here. BJ put on some music, and they was sticking in this and suck on that, and blah, blah. I was like, "Hey man, come on, man, put the radio on." He said, "That is the radio." I was like, "That's the that's the radio."
Yeah.
Hey man, and it's just so many things that they you could clearly see that there's a perversion of the youth when it comes to music, and the news is the perversion of the older generation. Because, hey man, I'm gonna give you two examples. The first one, I only have to give you one, and you're a music lover, so you appreciate this. Prince, "Let's Go Crazy." Do you know the FCC wouldn't let him release the original version of "Let's Go Crazy"? Do you know the original version of "Let's Go Crazy" was "We're not gonna let the devil break us down. Let's go crazy for Jesus."
Wow.
And they wouldn't
didn't
let
know
him
that.
say that.
Wow.
And now we got people
Only in
sucking
America, bro.
it. Yeah, right. And then the second example is 1988, Lethal Weapon comes out. It might have been Lethal Weapon 2. And they were having a conversation about having condom commercials on TV. Now they got erectile dysfunction commercials on TV. But we done went all the way past wearing a condom.
Right.
When you ain't working no more, take this pill. I mean, it's just the world we live. We live in a chaotic world that is full of pure and unadulterated madness at this point. Bruh, think about this, and then we can move to the next topic. Or we can go into where you was going. We live in a world. Just think about this. This crossed my mind today. When you get sick, they encourage you to stay in the house and take drugs. Stay home and take drugs.
That's America, bro. That's America, like for real, because that's why it's so hard to kind of debunk a lot of these conspiracy theories. And I hate conspiracy theories, but it's getting harder and harder to debunk them. You know what I'm saying? We talked about one last night. We ain't got to get into that, but we talked about one last night. And this is, I don't know, it's crazy. And but I asked that question earlier though, because it's like, I want to try to separate what we see on the surface with Sexxy Red. I want to try to separate that from the comments that she made and just like ask yourself, if somebody else would have said what she said, how do we feel about it? You know what I'm saying? As a part, because we can look at it and be like, okay, well, yeah, that's just a young lady that's probably ignorant and don't really have the information that she need. But then it ain't like we ain't heard other people say that. You know what I'm saying? So how do you
The next topic is a perfect example. That was a perfect transition to the next topic.
Go on to it then.
20 years ago, Charles Wade Barkley said, "I'm a Republican." And then somebody said, "Republicans for the rich people." And he said, "I'm rich." Ha ha ha. And now he's the most popular media personality in America today. Charles Barkley made a dude on ESPN more popular. This dude, he do this little thing in the morning. "I'm hot," or something like that. You know, he dope, and he do this little dance. And now you got people all over the internet. He dope. Charles Barkley made the man popular because Charles Barkley mentioned him on TNT. I personally stopped listening to Earthquake when he said it. Earthquake said, "I like Trump because he made it smooth for tax breaks and stuff like that." Waka Flocka recently said it. Now, Charles Barkley at the time was 40 years old. Earthquake is 50 plus years old. Waka Flocka is about 35 years old. And they ain't got no vitriol following. Now, going forward, look, I don't care if you vote for Homie the Clown. But it used to be a time and a place that we used to call the kitchen conversations, a cookout conversation. You sit up, you, your friends, your uncles, your aunts, your girlfriend, your wife, your inner circle. Y'all talked about that kind of stuff, and that's where it was. Now these people come out and say, you know what? I'm rich, but your cousin Lil June ain't rich. Niecy ain't rich. Your sister ain't rich. Your brother ain't rich. Your homeboy's not rich. So you willing to keep me in the dirt so you can save yourself a couple $100,000? I'm not asking nobody to do anything. All I'm asking is this: if that's the route you're willing to take, and you're gonna let the rest of us sacrifice, and you're gonna wave it in my face, I don't care what happens. I wouldn't go to see. And I love Earthquake's comedy, but since you don't care about me, Mr. Quake, I ain't never spending another quarter. I unfollowed the chump on Instagram. Anytime I see him or anything, I skip back. I'm not contributing to you because you ain't thought about me. The hood put you in play. So if you're willing to tell the hood to go head on, my $100 or my $200 ain't gonna make or break your life. But we need this, instead of yelling at this 22-year-old young lady, maybe we need to be hollering at them. I'm done.
That's what I was about to say, because bro, like, she ain't the first one to say this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure. I don't know why she said it. I don't know if it was because the business that she in and she understand them benefits that came with that. But to my knowledge, I don't even think she was even doing this. You know what I'm saying? When he was in office, I don't know. But
She was
right.
on the come up.
Yeah, she was trying to get to it, but again, they go back to them stimulus checks or whatever that, I don't know. I don't think Biden cut none. But if it's that simple, to me, it's like, bro, are people just kind of exposing themselves to be selfish and greedy? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody that you just mentioned that made them same comments, I'm pretty sure it's people in their family that's going through it. You know what I'm saying? We might be doing better off than they are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to go save your whole family. I'm not saying you get a bag, go take the hood with you. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is just, bro, think about what this man represented. Think about what he represented and what that meant for us as a whole before you start just throwing all of that away. Okay, you know what? All is forgiven because now I got a few extra dollars on top of the money I already had. Because make no mistake about it, it ain't benefiting you if you ain't already got some of it anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. I mean, look, once you get past $100,000, you're in the tax bracket. That means that they're gonna take 50% of your money.
Right.
Now, all you have to do is incorporate yourself, and you get business taxes at that point, and then you have everybody pay, like with us. When this takes off, everybody gonna be paying park bench media. They're not gonna be paying more H-Rap no $250,000, $300,000 an episode. They're gonna be paying park bench media. So now, then we could pay ourselves. We could do. I learned this watching. Believe it or not, I learned what I'm telling you watching Cheers. They had a fake character about this dude. He was a big time businessman. His name was Robin Colcord. They had a fake Robin Colcord on that. Robin Colcord bet he owned Sam's bar at the time.
Yeah.
He bet Sam that he couldn't do something. Sam did it, and he bet him his annual salary because he's billionaire Robin Colcord. He thought that man was finna get a year's salary. I could buy my bar back. He said, "Yeah, okay." He lost the bet. Robin Colcord. He said he handed Sam $1. He said, "Yeah, man, I only pay myself $1 a year for tax purposes." He said, I expense every meal. I expense every trip. Everything that I do, I expense it.
Wow.
And so Stephen A. Smith mentioned it one day on First Take. They probably threatened his mama on that one. But a lot of athletes know about this. So you don't have to support wickedness and evil and vitriolic people to make money. And I don't blame Sexxy Red. I blame Charles Barkley. I blame Mona Scott, whatever her last name is, Mona Scott, because Mona made it about money. Be ratchet as possible, be trifling as you can be, cuss women out, address them as B, express them as, call them H's, and because you're going to get a lot of money. And if you do it good enough, if you be wretched enough, You could be Cardi B. You could be the girl who just got blackballed for calling black people monkeys. Who, whatever her name is, I don't even know her name. Erica Mena.
I don't even know if I know about that story right there.
She made a noise when she was talking about a black woman, and she got canceled. But you made it so being a wretch is okay. Mona, you know, these housewives and love and hip hop. Ain't nobody rapping but y'all love and hip hop. Ain't nobody married but y'all housewives.
Yeah.
How Shawnee O'Neal come up with a show, Housewives, Basketball Wives, Divorced from Shaquille O'Neal?
Yeah.
You know, it's that, man. And then you want to blame the youngest person in the crowd. No.
Yeah. But make no mistake about it too, man. How many times you done been on social media and you seen somebody that you consider to be an intelligent individual post some information that clearly they saw from somewhere else. And you done already done your research, right? But you looking at it, you like, come on, you know better than that. Why would you post that? Because somebody else is going to see it. They're going to take it as truth. They're going to share that information. It's going to spread. Somebody else going to share it. And before you know it, somebody in a celebrity status is stupid enough to post that information. That changes the way a lot of people think. A lot of people get their information, knowledge, and news from social media. You know what I'm saying? This generation right here, this young lady right here, I guarantee you, that generation, they don't watch the news. They don't watch TV. You know what I'm saying? They get all of their information from one place. You know what I'm saying? The world is small, and that's what's happening. So I mean, we don't know how people like her who say things like that, what influenced them to do that or think that way.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got a home girl, man. Grew up with her. And when I was active, maybe it's about 5, maybe 7 years ago, when I was active on Facebook, she put, Sherman Hemsley died.
Who?
And I was like, yeah, about 8 years ago.
Now, who'd you say?
She posted, like, 8 years after Sherman Hemsley died today. And I'm thinking, do you mean this is the anniversary of his death? So I looked it up. I'm like, yeah, he been dead 7 years. I said, yeah, 7 years ago. Oh, I didn't know. How many? I've seen Bobby Brown dead. Eddie Levert died.
Let me tell you something. My mama texted me the other day. She texted me the other day, and she said, I think it was Eddie Levert and Lionel Richie had died.
Yeah, Lionel Richie.
And I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, let me go online and see what's up. And so I hit her back because I'm like, normally, like I keep an app on my phone. It's gonna hit me with certain news, and that'll be big news. Lionel Richie owned Beverly Hills, man. So I hit her back. I said, Mama, listen, you can't, if you see something, make sure you pay close attention. Make sure you look into that. Do your research before you share that information because this kind of stuff and she ain't know. You know what I'm saying? I love my mama to death. I don't know if she watching, but Mama, I love you, but don't do that no more. But that's the kind of stuff that happens, bro. It happens all the time, man. And if somebody put out some information, and it could be the best lie is cloaked in, reason, right? And a little bit of truth. Somebody can post something and somebody read it, and it makes sense to them. It makes just enough sense to them to change their perspective. You know what I'm saying? My loyalty is the reason, and as a reasonable person, I reserve the right to change my opinion when presented with information that alters my perspective. That's most people. You know what I'm saying? That's most people. And that's what we starting to see like crazy nowadays.
Yeah, because it's not unreasonable for a 74-year-old Lionel Richie to transition. I had to check, like when I saw my man, rest in peace, John Shaft, Richard Roundtree. When I saw Richard Roundtree died, I'm like, let me check this out. And it was true. He died from pancreatic cancer. But yeah, man, it just we that's why I'm so disappointed in an earthquake, disappointed in a Charles Barkley. Not so much with Waka Flocka because you in that you should know better, but you still a young brother. I can't get mad at a 30 something like I can a 50 and a 40 something. And so, like you said, man, you got these men and women out here. You gonna break? You know what, man? Shout out to all those celebrity women, because I've never heard one black woman. I don't really be paying attention to the other folks like that, but I've never heard one black woman get on TV and brag about what she has or how she getting it.
Mm.
One of the richest women in America, if not the richest woman in America, Oprah. Even though she was fronting and I didn't like it when she did it, but she tried to downplay her fortune. Because when Tony Braxton had the Gucci silverware, I didn't even know they had. I didn't like that, but she trying to pretend that she don't know about stuff like that. So it's just I'm just tired of these celebrities putting forth this image in which the young Shakari, the young Sexy Red, and a lot of these young brothers, they are just falling for the banana in the tailpipe. And while I'm excoriating them, I want to celebrate the young Joy Badass.
Okay.
Joy Badass I've literally heard him say, I made a concerted effort not to portray that. So big ups to Joy Badass. And he's super dope on top of it.
Yeah. I wish he was still playing Inspector Deck in that Wu-Tang saga. I might would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like when he played that role. But let me ask you a question. Tell me if you agree with this or not. And this was years ago when Charles Barkley said it, but he said that he's not a role model. Don't consider me a role model. I agree and I disagree.
Exactly.
I agree in a sense of it started home, right?
Mm-hmm.
It started home. I'm not perfect, so yeah, I'm entertaining you, but don't be looking up to me like that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, come on, bro. Be realistic. Right. You are a public figure. You're a hero to a lot of young black kids at that time when you were coming up. They're gonna look up to you. They're gonna follow your every, they gonna, just like Mike, be like Mike. I mean, that was a whole movement around that.
Mm-hmm.
And you were one of those few in that same little realm. I mean, not true indeed, you weren't Mike, but at that time, I mean, come on, you was a black superhero to us, man. So I'm saying that to say this. I think that as a black celebrity, whether you're a rapper, athlete, entertainer, actor, actress, or whatever, you do have a certain obligation. You do have a certain obligation. Now, if you go out here and you make mistakes in life like most people gonna do, that's one thing. But when you, nowadays in the internet age, when you actually go out and you say something, you speaking to somebody with the intention of somebody hearing what you say or seeing what you gotta say. Now you gotta be careful because now that's an obligation. Ain't nobody looking at you like, I don't know her real name, but anything you say, you know what I'm saying? That's not whoever your government name, that's Sexxy Red saying that. Somebody gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? And somebody might take it for, for whatever.
Why wouldn't I listen?
With that?
Why wouldn't I listen? She rich. Because that's what young people think. I mean, the reason we are right now is two reasons. My mother inspired me to do it before she passed away. And at age 10, I looked at the TV and I'm watching TV. I'll never forget, I was watching CBS pregame football show. And I said, I'm going to do that job. And guess what? And it wasn't nothing that they said, but this was my thinking about being doing this. I'm looking at Irv Cross. He black, I'm black. Everybody big up at Irv Cross. Psh, I want to do that. I said, they wearing shirts and ties, so they got to be making good money. And my mama can't make me go to church because they working on Sundays. I want that job. So if I can do that at age 10, 43 years ago, it got to be somebody, a 10-year-old, a 8-year-old, a 12-year-old, looking at Charles, looking at Sexy, looking at Cardi, looking at the stuff that Mona Scott put out there, and they saying, wait a minute, I ain't got to get no A's to do that. And my whole thinking was, they get this show come on at 9. That's when Sunday school start. And it's over at 12. Church is already in effect. By the time I get off work and get to church, church will be over. She can't make me go to church. So I know it's some little kids out there going, you ain't got to get no A in class to do that.
Yep.
Throw a drink in somebody's face. And they got stores and they got businesses. So boom, I'm doing that.
Yeah. 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 And I feel like, I don't know. We talk about a lot of stuff off camera that we always talk about, we discuss the problem, but where's the solution? You know what I'm saying? I mean, some things I don't know if we got an answer for. I don't see some of this change. I mean, it's just the world we live in now, bro. I think the only solution is, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, let's start thinking about that accountability thing and, activate that. Activate that.
I mean, I'm not saying, I can't guarantee you it's the answer, but communication is the answer. See, we don't talk to our children, we talk at them.
Mm-hmm.
You better, say no to drugs. Why? Because I said so. Nah, that's not. Hey, I told you about my 8th grade teacher. I walked into that classroom, 7th to 8th grade teacher, Miss Ethel Adams. I walked in that classroom afraid of Miss Adams. I had a reputation of William E. Gladstone for being the emperor of all class clowns.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Miss Adams had a reputation of she'd tighten you up.
Mm-hmm.
I knew she knew my mama. Both of my sisters had went through that path. My cousin Eric had been through that. My aunt Ivis, my aunt, women and men on both sides of my family had went through Miss Adams. My aunt was a teacher, so I'm scared. I'm like, I had to fool the Miss Adams class. I'm beat to sleep.
Yeah. And
Miss Adams, class started, she pulled me out of the class and said, "You're the last of the Harpers, huh? I've heard about you. I'm gonna cut you down to size."
Said that to you.
And she said that to me. Now, mind you, Miss Adams 5'3" and was taller than me at the time.
So she got to cut you down.
Right. She looking down at me. And because I am Dolores and John's son, Dolores and John was activated. The Williams and the Pollard was activated in me. And it wasn't even a thing, man. But I heard, challenge. I was like, yeah.
Let's do it then.
Hey, she done beat me before. I'm going to get beat. Now, as I got older, I realized and learned how to appreciate Miss Adams. But if she would have just shut up and said, "Hey, I know your mama," I'd have been too scared to act a fool in that class.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about communication. If we don't excoriate Sha'Carri Richards, like, look, young sister, you messed up. We got your back. The whole community should have got behind her and stayed behind her. You made a mistake. You 19. It's good. The whole community should get behind Sexxy Red and say, hey, young Red, because look at it this way, bro. Malcolm X said this: don't make fun of people who don't know what you know, because it wasn't that long ago that you didn't know what you know.
Right.
So why are we not? See, it's easy to quote Malcolm X and quote Marcus Garvey and quote Dr. King and quote Sojourner Truth and all these wonderful Black people. But when are we going to start activating some of that? We need to be like, you made a mistake. It's good. This how we going to fix it. We got your back. We finna go, the whole hood need to go buy Sha'Carri Richards jersey. You need to be put, she should have been the role model.
Yeah.
She should be a role model right now. She was the hottest thing in the world. She made a mistake and now she back. That's a role model. That ain't none of us perfect.
You got redemption out of that.
Right. we need to be big up in Todd Bridges. You was messing around with a drug addiction about 5 years, and you've been clean for 30 years.
Yeah.
We should be big up in all these other people, but we don't. We big up Cardi B. We big up Juicy Head Fred and all these dudes. We need to be big up.
Go and look up some information on Shaheem, the Rugged Road to Recovery, that program that he started. I don't know if you heard about that or not.
Yeah.
But he, he went through what he went through, but his mom's was an addict his entire life. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that he started. I guess that was the spirit behind it, but I know he went through his thing too, man. And his comeback was heavy. You know? I mean, it's still a process. Yeah, that's another one.
My Son the General. I mean, man, how many people in our community, coast to coast, border to border, know who Tamika Mallory is? That girl out there, and she ain't made no mistakes, but we need to be showing these young ladies, the Tamika Mallories, the Shaheens, the T.R. Lees, the Razzcazzes. You know, I don't need to prop you up like Michael Jackson and Michael Jordan and Prince, because guess what? The chances on you being 6 foot 6 inches tall, jump 40 inches in the air, and float through the air how you want to is slim and none. But you can beat Chi Ali, make a big mistake, and come back. That's how we have to do it, man. We kick these people in their behind and obliterate them and try to erase them from Black history. Like that's how, like, show you the ignorance of our community. This racist Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, he showed the weakness in the Black community. He saw that he heard they put the propaganda out there. We homophobic, we homophobic, we homophobic, we homophobic. You know what he did? Went to the Black churches and said, see, they're going to teach homophobic. They're going to teach homosexuality and AP of Black history. And all the Black pastors got together and said, yeah, we don't want that. So you're just going to do away with Whitney Young. You're going to do away with Baynard Rustard. You're going to do away with James Baldwin. And you're going to do away with, what's the poet name? Langston Hughes. No, you don't want to do away with them. What's my man, Paul Laurence Dunbar, one of the greatest poets in the history of the world. He was an alcoholic and a domestic violence guy. Are we going to do away with this stuff? No. Especially now that he gone.
Right.
So we always want to sweep. We you know what it is? It's this complex we got. We have to show white America that we are ... No, we don't. Because if we compare Black America to white America, we can kick our feet up. We ain't kill no Indian nations. We ain't stole no land.
You know what I'm
We
saying?
ain't put
Genocide.
Right. Black on black crime, state on state theft.
Yeah, come on. Bro, you know how I feel about the whole black on black crime thing, bro. First of all, you kill where you live. You know what I'm saying? So stop that. Which means you commit the crimes where you live. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead with that, man. It is what it is, man. But I'm gonna say that I gotta celebrate my son before we get out of here, man. Baby boy, 24th birthday, man. My firstborn. I'm proud of him. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go celebrate with him right now. But happy birthday, baby boy. I got my youngest coming up in December, so we're going to be doing this again real soon, bro. I got to celebrate the youngest, man. We just got through talking about that. We got to celebrate him, man.
Celebrate him, man. We got to pour into our children, man. I met my man, The Anthony Johnson. I met his daughter this weekend, man. This young lady has been to Africa 5 times, man.
Yeah, you told me about that.
She said, I've been 4 times by myself.
Yeah.
Man, I ain't never even crossed the street.
You say what?
I ain't never even crossed the street called Africa.
Little Africa down here about 30 miles up the road.
Right. My family from Tuskegee, Alabama. I ain't been to Africa Town, Alabama. She done been across. She showed some videos of her in the pyramids. That's how we fight this foolishness, man. We showed little Miss Johnson We show your son. We show, yes, he is. We allow them to show all the negativity in our community. When every time I got this app on my phone called Haiti. It's all the black media organizations in the world tied into one app. Every time I open this app every day. Every day I schedule what I do while I'm getting sleepy at night. I schedule news articles to be posted in that group. Build and Destroy.
Yeah.
I start at 9. I start at 6 in the morning, and they post every hour throughout the day.
Yeah.
People be going online. I ain't online that much. I got other stuff to do. I'm working poor. You know? But every day I see something about young black people going to college. 14-year-old boy. And every time it's an accomplishment, they try to shoot it down. A young man and a young lady both get 114 full ride scholarships. And you had white folks on there talking about, ain't that a little selfish? What? Those scholarships would go to somebody else. Yeah, if they was that smart, they could.
Mm-hmm.
They could, but they not. They going to him. Or if he can only take $5, charge to the game. But
it is.
That's how you beat this whole situation, man. You beat it by creating chief seats, creating Build and Destroy, creating Wrap It Up, creating Hold My Beer, creating Rap It with H-Rap, and highlight everything that it is about us that it is in the universe, and stop focusing on the negative. 5% of the population in America participate in criminality. 5%. So that means 95% of us are getting up, going to jobs we either love or hate or don't care. They just trying to pay bills.
Right.
So stop letting somebody who outwardly don't like you write your story. Period.
That is, man. Well, close us out, Rap.
Sunday morning, for the last episode on Sunday morning, tune in to Wrap It Up. Monday evening, tune in to Hold My Beer. Tuesday evening, tune in to Build and Destroy. Our normal night is Wednesday, and then Thursday, you'll get another Wrap It Up. And with that being said, me, Big Mo, I almost said Tiger Park Media. Park Bench Media, we taking over the universe 1 week at a time. We finally got the formula correct. Like my man Ray Kwan said, we cooking up some marvelous-ish. We need y'all to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button. Everybody hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. All. That way I ain't got to send out 10,000 alerts. You sick of them text messages? You ain't getting none. Thank y'all for tuning in. 2 fingers, 1 word. We're out.
What I'm not going to do is turn this shit down to make you happy.